Hello everybody, welcome to my craft room. I'm Shellie Geigle with JS Hobbies and Crafts, and I have 3 journals for sale, and I'm going to go through each one of these. If you're interested in buying them, there's a link below the video in the description area that will link you up to my personal eBay store. So I'm trying to make extra money for Christmas this year. So let's start with the Prima. I think this is Lavender Frost. Okay, so this is 5 1/4 by 8 1/4 with a 2 3/4 inch spine. And these little tags do come out of that front little pocket. So this one features 56 pages, and when I say pages, I'm counting 1, 2, 3. So I'm not counting them like a book, 1, 2, 3. And I guess if I did it that way, we'd be well over 100 here. This was made with Prima's Lavender Frost, I believe. And the inside white pages are 65-pound cardstock. So you can get your thicker pens or gel pens and it won't bleed through. So in the front here, and this has tons of extra pages, paper for you to write on, and that is done on 65-pound as well. The first inside the cover of the chipboard here is just a little pocket, and I've got lots of paper here, and it looks like I have that, more paper. Looks like I got a folder in there with places to write on as well. So I have a bunch more videos that I have released showing everything that I have for sale, and they are a sliding scale of how much they are. So it depends on how much paper, it depends on time in on it, and so forth. Okay, so this is just a little tuck, and I have a piece of paper here for writing, and I have this pretty little thing here. So on the back side here, there's a tuck, more paper. So I try to utilize, I left that alone, it's very pretty. But on a lot of the pattern pages, you might see bands, tuck areas for adding, so you get the most out of your journal. And here's a pocket and places to write on in here. Looks like I got a nice little folder going on. I do. Okay, another place with some paper to write on. Looks like there's several little ones in here. Looks like a little folder of sorts. And we come to the middle. Now this is bound in with the elastic, and I left the tails so that you can clip them if you don't like the long tails. Some people like them. So on a lot of the insides here, where we get to the middle part of the block or signature, I've got these removables, and I did not count this in as part of the pages when I did a page count. Bunch of little paper, has a little tuck area in there. You just kind of grab it and slide it back in. Here, paper. Same thing again. What is that? It's paper. So the print was so beautiful. I left a lot of it alone in this particular one so you can just actually see it and write little tidbits in there. And sometimes I use these type of journals to actually place a photo and write. I like to keep diaries or journals and stuff like that. So I do that. And I also have a budget one. I have just a bunch of different ways I use my journals. And I love them. I guess some of the pictures that don't end up in my scrapbook albums, my mini albums, end up in my journal. So this is removable here, and I placed a little side pocket, another tuck area with paper. So I'm going to move on a little bit quicker now. You can kind of figure out what I've got going. This is removable. scratched in. And that's removable. And in the very back here, we've got paper that comes out of this little tuck. So that is my Prima Lavender Frost, I believe it's called Lavender Frost, little journal. And this is how they're all bound in. Okay, let's move on to the next one. So what I got here is, I believe the paper is Dress My Craft. And this one measures 5 1/8 by 8 inches with a 2 1/4 inch spine. This one features 48 pages. So again, I'm counting 1, 2. So if you were to read it like a book, it would be into, what, 96. But all I did was just counted how many. So here we go. There's places here for journaling in here. And this is a nice thick cardstock. And in this one, I think I used 80-pound cardstock for this, maybe 65. Lots of places here to write on. Okay, and we come to the middle, and this was not counted in the count. It's a removable folder. At the innards of each of the 4 inserts there, it is elastic, and I left the tails long. If you don't like them, you can clip them. Some people like them. So this is removable, and I just made a little tuck, and I've got some journaling paper here, and I have this little journaling card, and it looks like I made a little folder. So that is, I like to tuck things in here, and feel free to add a little bit more too in that. Come on, get in there. So, and on this one, I had some stickers or things that I had placed, or that I used not a sticker, I fussy cut it and glued it down. So lots of places here. And what's nice is you can stamp on, the reason why I don't use regular lined paper or for my insert white cardstock is because I like to sometimes stamp in my journals. And I also sometimes like to use inks that could bleed through regular copy paper, parchment paper. So I tend to go with 65-pound or higher. And it's nice and clean, a nice surface to write on. Isn't that pretty? And a removable insert here that has a tuck, and it looks like we've got some places to write. Whoops. And I'm just going to keep cruising right on through here, guys. Some beautiful, vibrant colors. Very pretty. Here's another insert, removable with a tuck, and inside here some piece that you can write on. And coming to the last block here. And this is still stiff, so you can lay it down and write on it. So a tuck with some stuff. Looks like there's a folder and some paper to write on in there. And a removable here, and you can write on in there. And oh, that's part of the page. We have a tuck area here, and it's also a little folder. Sorry, I'm all over the board here. And I have a folder in here. Looks like I have another piece you can write on and some lined paper. Moving on. Oh, last page. Nope, not quite. There's a side pocket with some paper, lined paper there, and on the back it's the upright portrait style, and then just a little folder. And that is the journal. So let's move on to the next journal. So now this one is let's see here. This is a 5 1/8 by 8 inch with a 2 1/4 inch spine. We have a little pocket up front. These are all removable. Have little folders here you can write in. And this was made, I believe, with the Recollection Sweet Ambrosia collection. So, anyway, they just kind of go back in to this little pocket. Get in there. There we go. And the back. All right, this one features 56 pages, and I believe, let me see here, 65 pound, maybe a little better on the white cardstock. So here we just have a little tuck area, and we have folders to write some stuff in. And I think that paper is really pretty. So let's just flip on through. See what I got here. And these are removable, this one, and then there's this one. So there's two there. And a lot of the paper you can just write right on, so I didn't do too much. But I did add some. This one's a lace, and it's just a band, and I've stuffed this full. I've got folders, paper, just stuffed. Lots in there. And this paper has some of the like glitter, but the glitter doesn't seem to come off, so that's kind of nice. And another removable, another removable. Okay, here's another band, and once again, it is packed. It looks like I made a lot of just little folders in here, so you can just write right on the side, and then there's some single sheets here, color, and a bunch of white. Another folder back here. A lot of good stuff in here. It is stuffed. Okay, let's move on. And we have a pocket. Look at all that in there. Lots of stuff in there. More writing, more writing. So it looks like a little tuck area. It looks like a folder here, another folder, and some paper to write on. And two removables that you can write on the inside. Isn't that pretty? Coming to the last signature. Looks like just a lot of places to write on. Two more removables. And more white paper. Okay, so that is my Sweet Ambrosia journal. It is 5 1/8 by 8 inch with a 2 1/4 inch spine, I believe. And I think I have some more projects to share. I think that's it for the journals. I'll have to double check, but I do have some stationery gift boxes I'd like to show you in my next video. See you real soon.